start streaming. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee. And today on the 10th Oreward Patreon server, my Patreon patrons are about to celebrate Canada Day on the Iron Islands Company Town Bridge here. Looks like some folks have already gotten in the spirit by decorating for the parade with these little glass rods here in that beacon beam on this scale model of the Ever Given, which seemed to have been renamed Never Given. Although, you know, I think the original said Evergreen on there, which was the name of the holding company that owned it, so maybe that should say Nevergreen. I don't know. But I think, then again, Canada is famous for its evergreen trees. We're rambling. Just kidding. It's me. I'm Joe Hills. I'm rambling. Okay, ready to start? Question mark. I need to get my timer out here, and we are going to give every team an hour to build their float. So, timer, 1 hour, 0 minutes, 0 seconds, and go! Okay, so, basically, now that everybody has started building, I'll explain the rules. Doesn't make a lot of sense to, explain the rules in advance of the contest to the contestants, because they've all had about a year to prepare for this. But for you, the viewer at home, I can explain the rules while they get to building. This is kind of a little bit of a tradition on my Patreon server. Normally, every time we launch a new series of this server, we have a 3-month-long contest where people build like some sort of outpost or village or city that will eventually become a parade route. And there's a big judging at the end of that 3 months where we bring in multiple outside judges, and we have basically a 3 or 4 hour tour of all of these places, and then the judges rank those cities, which is a really, really big challenge because these builds can be super cool, very impressive stuff. And then based on the ranks of the builds, the contestants who have constructed these cities with these parade routes get to list and rank their top choices for holidays to host. Now, the Iron Islands build, constructed by Shawnard and the road team here, has selected Canada Day as their holiday. The Iron Islands build is a little bit different from some of the company towns, because this one has more of a islandy vibe to it. Most of our cities and towns that we've visited have been in caves or valleys or plains. This one's out at sea. This little company town here is a, what do you call it? An oil rig out here at the sea. Woo. And there's also some different farms and stuff that are part of this build. I believe this is some sort of fancy iron farm, hence the name Iron Islands. Now, you'll see that we are running on my Patreon server 1.21.6. You can see we've got the face bar down there. And I don't know, let me check to see if Modrinth has added face bar yet. Because that would be really cool if they've approved it. No, not quite yet. That is still in the queue. But that little face bar mod was designed by Cortex and will be publicly available soon. It is way different. I'm used to only seeing the hermits' faces on it. And so it's fun seeing community members' faces on here for a change. I had actually forgotten that would happen. And it's just like, wow, that's so cool. So, basically, at this point, everybody's got an hour or less. Well, 55 minutes, 56 minutes and 55 seconds or so to build their builds. Okay, the iron farm is now turned on. So as you can see, this iron farm produces quite a bit of iron by spawning golems. It's raining golems. Hallelujah. Now, I'm not sure exactly... It's called an iron flinger. Interesting. Because the iron golems are kind of thrown out of the area they spawn in, presumably. And So I'm guessing the redstone basically makes the bad guys visible to the villagers, which panics them. It seems like when I'm looking... Oh, wow, there go two now. When I look at it, it's not active. I keep seeing iron golems flying out of the corner of my eye here. Boom. There they go. So, that is the Iron Islands. Schoenhard sends his regrets he could not be here today to share this with the folks. But once again, we scheduled these in advance, and sometimes things come up. So, either way, I am very appreciative of Schoenhard for building this fantastic company town here. We are nearing the end of our cycle of parades. So it's actually, we're approaching the time when the server will reset. Not anytime soon, but before we have next Canada Day. Because you might say, well, Joe, how are you guys going to have 2 Canada Day parades here? Well, don't worry. We reset this server every time the Hermitcraft server resets. And so we will have to be figuring out... Ooh, is this an air hockey? No, this is curling. Oh, that's fun. So yeah, this server is attuned to the Hermitcraft reset cycle. So we've still got a few parades left, but I think we've gotten through maybe 10 out of 12 at this point, 11 out of 12 of our holiday parades here. I believe we still have a Labor Day parade coming up, right? No, or did we... What do we have left? Does anybody know what we have left? I should probably have that pulled up. Noir has the Labor Day one. Okay, I'm right. I'm right about that. Okay, yeah. So after that, when Hermitcraft Season 11 begins, we'll have a whole new world with a new set of challenges for folks to build their towns or villages. This season, the theme was company towns. In our previous season, the theme was kind of like research outposts around an anomaly. And the season before that, it was more of a free-for-all, build a city with a parade route. Our next theme, I've talked a little bit about this, so this isn't new information, but this is me collecting a few things I've said in the past into one coherent thought. I was enamored with the fact that the 11 is a set of parallel lines. And so the way that the next season will work, one of the problems we had this season was that the world's pretty big here. Oh, time set day. Shush, game rule, do weather cycle false, / game rule, do daylight cycle false. Okay. Vincho Ken says, that maple leaf is beautifully intricate. Yeah, this is a really... I keep flying past this because it's such an impressive piece of work here. I really like the way that the red and white fade like that. It's actually really cool. So, if anybody can type in the text chat, did Schoenhard make the maple leaf, or was this somebody else on the crew who contributed that? Kindleless made it an hour ago. Ah, Kindleless, also famously Canadian. Thank you for your contribution. It was Schoenhard's idea and completed by Kindleless, says Mantua Maker. Yeah, this is cool stuff. Like, it is so fun to get to see how folks on this server collaborate. And so, yeah, to go back to my previous point, one of the things that we try to do when I design the parameters for the next season's parade route build contest, where people actually build the cities or the parts of the parade or whatever, is I try to solve or address issues we've seen in the past. I want to be forward-looking, but I don't want to ignore the mistakes I've made previously. And let's be honest, most of the mistakes that get made around here are me, because I'm the one calling the shots. This is the server that I am the operator for and make the artistic decisions about the rule set for. I basically try to create starting conditions where everybody else has an opportunity to do cool stuff, but I'm not perfect. So, one of the parameters that we had for this season was that the cities needed to be a certain distance apart from each other. And the problem I was trying to address with that is that when too many people build too close together, a lot of servers start having to have rules about, like, how many armor stands you can have, or how many signs, or how many this, or how many that. And I didn't want that. I wanted every town to be able to kind of self-regulate their own level of involvement with adding entities and having stuff going on like that. So it's like, hey, if this area is laggy, that's okay, because it really only affects the person running this area. That sort of thing. And also, so technically, it's harder on the server in that there's more people spread out over more areas, so there's more chunks loaded, but it's easier on individual people because no one place becomes like a massive lag trap. So yeah, I tried to encourage people to create their cities for the parade contest at least 1,000 blocks away from each other. So like the nearest one is over there. You can see the Warner Brothers water tower. That's the next city where you got the Wizard of Oz, tornado, and a few other things there. So this is about how far apart those are. That's pretty far apart. And we got some feedback that, or I got some feedback that this was not conducive as much to folks interacting with each other and communal experiences. So even with the teleport network that went in for all the cities where people can pop to the main hub and back, it just didn't quite solve all the problems I wanted it to solve. And so what we're looking at for next season is inspired by the parallel lines in the number 11. I'm imagining that next season's theme for the Parade Float Build Contest cities will be sister cities, with the idea being that they have parallel parade routes, a fixed distance apart. I haven't figured out exactly what that distance is, but from above, those two parallel roads would, in theory, kind of look like an 11. They might be a little bit too far apart from each other, but the idea would be that the two cities, one would grow to the east, the other would grow to the west, and that ideally the themes would somehow balance with each other. So if someone wanted to build a caveman city, the balance would be future city. If somebody wanted to build, something focused on towers, the other one might want to go with something cutting into the earth with cliffs. It'd be up to the teams to figure out how they wanted to do that. But part of what they would be judged on is how well the two themes complement each other. They shouldn't just be the same. Like, it's not necessarily... We're not looking for one person to be like, well, I'm going for graveyard theme, and the other person is going for haunted house theme, right? That's not exactly what we're looking for. And they don't have to be a perfect, exact reflection of each other. But ideally, they should in some way feel like they're a complementary pair. And the reason for this is because the next server is going to start off in a state of imbalance, where the world spawn is going to randomize until the day of the parade float the day of the city judging. The idea being that all of these balanced sister cities in clusters around the map are going to bring balance to the elements of nature, and at that point, they will capture the world spawns so that they will cycle between different transportation hubs that are going to be basically nestled in the middle between the two between each of the sister cities. So the idea will be that you'd have like city on the east, city on the west, and then on the border between them, there would be each pair of teams would be tasked with designing a world spawn building that will have its own transit hub with teleporters to all of the other transit hubs. And basically, each time a town hosts the parade, the world spawn location will be rotated to that transit hub. So that way, until the next parade, everybody new who joins the server can see some of the cool stuff on display from everyone who's made anything. So there's not going to be a permanent spawn on the server. We are going to go much more traditional for people who prefer a traditional world spawn on our vanillish server. I'm going to be working with Yurgi on designing an experience that's much more similar to what people would expect from a traditional SMP world over there. Both of those servers, the 11 Storm server and the next generation of the vanillish server, will be running the whatever the next Hermitcraft seed is, but one will be the bleeding edge event server that folks expect from me, and the other will be much more chill and have kind of a cozier vibe. So, for folks who are not enthusiastic about playing on a world with a randomized spawn for 3 months, that's okay. You don't have to. The vanillish server will be going live with the same Hermitcraft seed at the same time, and you can just chill over there and, do whatever you want. Traditional spawn town, all that sort of thing. But, yeah. So we are still quite a ways off from that. But like I said, this is the second to last parade in our rotation, so I know folks are going to want to start looking forward. And I'm optimistic that basically by having each set of towns have its own transportation hub where you can teleport to any of the other transportation hubs, it should cut down on some of the friction of I'm going to teleport to world spawn and then teleport through the hub somewhere else. So that'll hopefully make the server feel closer together, while also still allowing folks to settle in wildly different regions and kind of create a network for folks to use. So, let's see. We are only 17 minutes into the contest, and folks are already starting to get stuff built here to celebrate Canada, and presumably also days. We've got what looks like some sort of Canadian flag praying mantis here. We have what looks like a landscape for a model train set here. And we have what appears to be the folks from that Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, Skinnamarink-a-doo, I love you show, holding up their elephant on a platform, which is a real challenge because elephants are very heavy. Yeah, Sharon, Lois, and Brahm. That's right. And then over here, let's see, we've got what looks like a roller skate that hasn't been attached to a shoe yet. Traditional pre-integration of the skate and shoe design. Over here, we have what I initially thought was some sort of curling board, but I now believe it to be some sort of escape room where you have to throw logs. It's some sort of caber toss. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. And let's see, over here we have a happy ghast that I guess I could ride around on if I wanted to leave spectator mode at the moment. But, yeah, that's where we are at right now. Spectator mode, flying above here. It is so cool seeing how much folks can build on a long-term world. Just want to take a little bit of time to admire this oil rig here. Lots of little details. I've never actually been on an oil platform. You know, they don't exactly do a lot of tours of them here in Tennessee. We mostly have, like, distillery tours and brewery tours. There's occasionally tours of caves. But, yeah, not so many oil platform tours here in Tennessee. But, I don't know. Maybe at some point I'll do some traveling and visit an oil platform. Or things will just get so bad that that's the only job I can get is working on an oil platform. I guess we'll find out. Just as a reminder, this is a viewer-supported stream, and tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We're rotating the camera 1 degree angular for every dollar that rolls in. This is really cool down here. Ah, a little bit of redstone for the sign there. Very neat. Is there anything in these giant pillars? Oh, that's cool. There's a bunch of little farms. We've got a cactus farm here. Sniffer farm. With a lay. Boy. And this is just one of these pillars. What do the other pillars have inside of them? Anything? Okay, this one is actually empty. This one has a lays collecting... What are they collecting? Bones. Huh. That's interesting. I'm not sure why they're collecting bones. We have this guy here. Huh. Oh, this is a spawner. These are spawner platforms, and if a human player was in here, unlike a spectator player like me, then that would cause mobs to fall. Interesting. Very cool. Welcome, Iconic Anemone. Welcome, Crystalli3. Okay. Okay. So here we have an iron golem constructed of blocks. Very impressive. Almost looks pretty pixel perfect. I almost thought in the background that this was like a armor stand trick or something. What server is this? This is the 10th Oreward server. It's my Patreon server. $10 a month gets access to my Minecraft servers. $5 a month gets you on my Discord. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, we got a tip rolling in from Jonas from Norway. Thank you, Jonas. Who says, a little hello to you and best of luck to all the contestants. Greetings from Norway. Best, Jonas. Thank you, Jonas. We're going to rotate the camera 7 degrees angular. Do-do-do-do. Oh, wait, that's supposed to be around the center. Do-do-do-do. Appreciate it, Jonas. Alrighty. We're rotating the camera 1 degree angular for every dollar that rolls in. Manjua Maker says, Sean is a snowstone genius. Sort of like redstone, but more iterative. Gotcha. Yeah, these are really well colored, thoughtful sculptures. perfect for the edge of the Iron Islands. Now, I'm wondering if this road damage here is, like, intentional. Is that supposed to be, like, something destroyed this? The tulips are built to the same scale as the golems. Ah, interesting. Thank you, Stellar Spider. I was curious about the tulips. Like, I'm guessing there's some sort of continuous thing here being put in. Parade route has some cute little trees along it. Tulips are important in Canada. Interesting. Oh, so those are part of the decor for the Canada Day theme. I think this is our first national celebration theme parade. I don't think we've actually had, like, a national holiday like this before. The Princess of the Netherlands was in Canada in World War II and gave birth. Interesting. So it is fun to learn about other cultures, other nations. But yeah, I think this is the first parade we've had that was actually a celebration of another country. I don't think we've had a 4th of July parade either on the server. Which is just as well, because I'm usually away at PlayOnCon for the 4th of July, so it would be hard to judge that. Stellar Spider says, the hospital room was territory of the Netherlands, so that the newborn could be a natural-born citizen. Ah. That was nice of the hospital administrator to do that. So to say thank you, the Netherlands sends tulips every year. Oh, that's very cool. Yeah, people don't realize how much power hospital administrators have. Like, there's a reason that they, you know, kind of play Kelso up to be the bad guy in Scrubs, because he could do so much more. Lots of falling golems. Wow, it's crazy how their arcs aren't really truly parabolic. They, like, go out and then just stop. It's like... whatever outward momentum they have is capped pretty hard. It's like, no, you go exactly 8 blocks. Doesn't matter how far you fall. You are going out 8 blocks. So, presumably there's, like, tripwires here. Yeah, so do they spawn on the slime? They do spawn on the slime. Okay. Oh, there was one. How high is this thing? This is very tall. Okay, that's how tall it is. Yeah, a watched golem never spawns, it seems. Maybe they hit their max or something? Because, yeah, they're not falling off the other sides either now. But either way, we have multiple contestants working hard on their builds. Everybody's building for the contest. Are we close enough to see changes? Yeah, I can see people running around down there. So in theory, what if I can set my zoom to whatever that FOV was? Or set my FOV to whatever that zoom level was. And then ta-da! We have 5 teams competing. Oh. Zoe says that iron farm must produce insane amounts of iron. For sure, need enough auto crafters to make iron blocks. And then Mantua Maker says, yeah, the road is iron blocks, so tons of iron. Yes, it is indeed an ironic road. La da 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 da, do 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 boom boom. La da 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 da, la da 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 da. Bum bada bum bada bum. Bum 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 bada bum 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 bum. Okay. Just as a reminder, we have 29 minutes remaining. Let's go ahead and type that in the chat there. 29-minute warning. Yeah. I was trying to hit it right at 30 minutes, but I don't have the focus to do that. I was like, oh, it's not quite 30 minutes yet. I'll just wait a few seconds. Oh, nope. It's fine. It's fine. Ooh. Okay. So, let's see. Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Okay. Just checking on gaming news, seeing if there's anything interesting going on right now. So there's a new Minecraft update that I was expecting to have come out like yesterday. 1.21.7, but apparently they're dragging their feet on pushing that release candidate live. I was expecting it to be like, whoa, we have a huge memory leak, so we're going to have this out tomorrow. But unfortunately, that was not the case. You know what I want to do real quick? Let's showcase how the Iron Island looks with some shaders. Options, videos, shader packs. Complimentary. Reimagined. Ooh. Ah. Takes a second. La da da dee 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 doo. Bum 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 bum. Done. 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 Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out how to turn off whatever this fog nonsense is. Or time set noon, maybe? Yeah. Ooh. It's interesting because Voxy doesn't seem to be applying the shaders to the water that's outside of the range. Interesting. So yeah, when I get too far away, it kills the shader water. So then you don't get the reflections. Can I turn that up here? It looks better, yeah, if we turn down that. Options, video settings, shader pack settings, atmosphere, fog, border fog off, atmospheric fog, very subtle. Then also, I think if we go in here to video settings, render distance, we turn up the Bobby render distance a little bit here. There we go. It's fun watching those iron golems pop in on the left side there as the level of detail increases. And then Bobby is subsuming the voxy chunks. Welcome, Pepper Basenji. Yep, we are doing our Canada Day Parade Float build contest. Okay, yeah, the frame rate is not the best with this set of shaders on, so we probably won't leave this on for long. I just wanted to kind of see... We're not going to be doing our judging with shaders, so don't worry, contestants. I just wanted to appreciate how the oil rig might look with a little bit of shadow and reflection here. Oh, that's pretty cool. Is there a way to turn on, like, heavy waves? Shader pack settings. Atmosphere, materials. Okay. Water. Waving water height on. Waving water normals. Oh, here we go. Wave strength. Yeah, max that out. Wave size. 300. Yeah, that's not bad. It's still a lot less oceany than I was expecting. Yeah, the shaders are not friendly with the frame rate. Options. La da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. La da 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 da. Ba 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 ba. Boom boom boom. Boom boom boom. So it looks like if we go to shaders, shader packs, Photon. Is this the one? Is this the version of Photon that just came out? Of course, I just closed the window. I'm good at things. Photon shaders, 4 days ago. Changelog 1.2. No. Okay, so if we want to download Photon shaders, the latest one. Okay, so let's try Photon 1.2 and see if the waves... Fully revamped sky, lighting, and water. Oh, yeah, check that out. That feels oceany. Yeah. This is the Photon shader pack we're playing with now. Frame rate, still not amazing, but we haven't tuned anything. This is just off-the-shelf settings. But yeah, you can definitely see the edge of the world as we know it. It's the edge of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Options, video settings, shader packs. Water. Water waves. Enabled. Intensity. All the intensity. Speed still? What does this mean? Lacunarity. That's a word I want to learn more about. From the Latin lacuna, meaning gap or lake, refers to a measure of how patterns, especially fractals, fill space. Okay. I think we were going to turn that up to 2. We're going to see how that goes. Beyond being an intuitive measure of gappiness. Always seeking gappiness. Lacunarity can quantify additional features of patterns such as rotational invariance and, more generally, heterogeneity. Okay. So let's go see if the waves look better. Okay, yeah. Definitely liking that. And of course, we're gonna pop in and check on our builders as we go. Whoops. Giving that a second to pop in. I'm not sure what's going on with these chunks. There we go. Once you start throwing shaders in the mix, a lot of stuff can go sideways. There it is. We have 16 minutes remain for our build contest. I don't know why it says I'm AFK. Oh, because I was AFK when I logged off last time. And the measurement thing for that isn't. Oh, interesting. This mod pack makes iron reflective, or the shader pack. So it's just reflecting the road back at it. Wow. That shader pack would make for a Homedale building. Yeah. I'm gonna have to play with the shader pack on Hermit Homedale. We have 15 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect real quick. While we're playing with things. 8 rockets, of course. And it's nighttime out. So let's go turn night into day. And we're going to grab some more rockets real quick. Okay. Well, the reflecting pool is reflecting nicely, but I'm not sure that the mirrored glass is actually mirroring anything. I don't think packed ice is treated as a reflective surface by this mod pack, unfortunately. It's not treated as a reflective surface by most mod packs, I've noticed. And I don't know if I need to do a special texture pack thing for that. Just replace the whole thing with iron. Yeah, that'll fix it. Okay. It is interesting how the white stained glass is like way less visible through there. Okay. Well, we'll come back to this. This was just something dumb I wanted to look at. Ooh, I wonder though, real quick while I check this other dumb thing. Speaking of dumb things. Okay, so even in the shader pack, we've got the backing mirror is still black there. Okay. Okay. Let's go look at this tower here in particular. I think I might turn the shaders off because they do seem to be taxing the computer a little bit. Options, video settings, shader packs. Shaders disabled. Apply. Okay. So this is the main pumping tower for the oil rig, I guess. I don't know enough about oil rigs to really break down their components. Probably should have looked into that more, before we got here, but that's okay. That's the drill tower. Ah, that makes sense. It drills to release oil into the ocean. Ah. The ocean's everyone's favorite place to put oil, so that makes sense. I like all these little buildings here. Little computer room. Control room here. You know what doesn't really show up in any of the Marvel movies? Is oil companies. Just as a side note, it seems like petrochemical companies are such a major factor in, like, world politics in our world. It's kind of weird, right? That there don't seem to be... Like, they have defense contractors, which are another major power in world politics. But they don't really have petrochemical companies. Like... In Watchmen, they got around that by having Dr. Manhattan push everything to electrical. Like lithium-ion charger. Don't muck up a good story with reality. Yeah. Okay. I was going to do a 10-minute warning, but I missed it. So 8-min, 30-sec warning. Yeah. And just as a reminder, this is a viewer-supported stream. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/showhills and YouTube Super Chat. We're rotating the camera 1 degree angular for every dollar that rolls in. Okay. Boom, boom, ba-dum, dum, dum. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Boom, 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 boom. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. You know, even though Speed Racer is a Japanese cartoon, do they ever say where Pop Racing is located out of? Is Pop's garage actually in Vancouver? Is it on the west coast of Canada? I don't know. Canonical location of Pop's Motorsports in Speed Racer. What's the name? Maybe Pop's Racing or Pop's Motorsports is not the... Yeah, Pop's Motors is the name of the company. In the animated series and manga, the AI says... Thanks, Google AI says that there's no answer to this question. So Speed Racer might be in Vancouver, according to Kindolus. Is that like one of those cities like in Big Hero 5 or Big Hero 6 or whatever? I don't know, I didn't see the first few. Where it's like San Francisco. It's like Tokyo and San Francisco mashed together. See, Vancouver is like Seattle and Vancouver smashed together. Vancouver filming location set in Seattle. Yeah, I guess I could have looked up where they actually shot the film Speed Racer. 5 minutes. I actually saw that right as it hit 5 minutes. Woo! A little bit of a graphical glitch there. There's the Theater Kids area that we were at for our last event. Off in the distance. We haven't... Iron Island's prize packs delivered to the build. Enjoy your suspicious sand. Ooh. Ah. Okay. Bum 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 bum. Okay. 3 minutes. Like, I'm actually looking at the clock. Like a professional. And I'm hearing thunder outside. Scattered storms, heavy rain. ETA is impossible to know because it's just popping up all over the place. Okay, yeah, nothing too hazardous. As long as you're not outside with a golf club. Okay. So, I'm not. I really need to mess around with shaders more. But it seems like a lot of these are like marked as like updated 6 years ago. Updated. Snow imagined. Turns your world into a winter wonderland. Ooh. "90 seconds. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. 40 seconds remain. It always sticks with me thinking about how when I was young, my parents were so excited describing how they and their friends, when they were like my age, just loved Speed Racer and would pretend their school bus was the powerful Mach 5 and like Speed Racer was like the biggest thing. Like, anyway, we're at the end of the timer. Pencils down. Build complete. Build time complete. I'm probably thinking of Speed Racer because I'm seeing all of these weird vehicles. So we're going to start at the front of the parade. I'm going to game mode spectator. No, creative. Okay. Stellar Spider says, no wonder Joe is a nerd. His parents were too. No, the thing is, though, they weren't, like, very nerdy in most ways. Speed Racer was just the show of the era. Like, when I was, like, 6 and Power Rangers was the huge thing and it came from Japan, my parents were like, we don't really get it. But when we were your age, we were watching Speed Racer and all our friends watched it. It wasn't like, oh, this is a nerdy thing that only nerds do. Like, Speed Racer was the show. You know what I mean? It wasn't counterculture, it wasn't subculture, it was culture, you know? Oh yeah, Johnny Quest was awesome too from that era. Anyway, I'm not trying to, like, say it wasn't intended as a compliment. Oh wait, are we in the back of the parade? Never mind, I meant to go to the front. I misunderstood the directionality. I try not to look too closely at the floats while they're under development, because I don't want to skew the judging. Okay, so is this the front of the parade? Yes, so it seems. Okay, The Dominion of Canada by Alpacatastic. Alpacatastic, do you want to tell us via voice or text what we're looking at here?
Yes, hello. So yeah, as I'm sure we all know, Canada Day celebrates the day that the colonies of the United Canadas, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick were united into the Dominion of Canada, which is why the holiday was actually originally called Dominion Day. So here we have some representatives from the Dominion here to celebrate.
Okay.
Here we have a squad of Jem'Hadar soldiers
Okay.
with their first. Here with Vorta Beef receiving their daily allotment of maple syrup to keep them strong.
Excellent.
And up on the balloon there, we have the founder, Etho. Now, I know you may be wondering, why would I use Etho to represent a changeling when he famously never changes his Minecraft skin? Which to that I say, well, you can have a parade in the Iron Islands without a little bit of irony.
Okay. Fair enough. So I'm assuming that this ship is modeled after the Jem'Hadar fighters?
Yep. And it's painted with Canadian, sort of representation of the Canadian flag in block form.
And this is intended to be a balloon, I guess, suspended over the platform that's rolling down the street. Is that the intention here?
Yep, it's being carried by the Happy Gas there, which is anchored to the float.
This is very good. This wow. I didn't look too closely at this in the distance and I was like, oh, okay, that's some sort of Space Invaders Canada theme thing. That's interesting. Okay. But this is very good. As Magenta Avocado writes, the vision is clear, there are multiple layers. Yeah. This is a solid first entry to our parade float build contest. Right out the gate, Alpacatastic killing it with the Dominion of Canada. Wow. Who do we have next? Champagne Jane, it looks like, with Peachland. Tell me what we're looking at here, Champagne Jane. Either in text or voice, either's fine. If you're trying to use your voice, we cannot hear it. Is Champagne Jane AFK? One sec. Okay. Well, we'll use that as an opportunity to remind folks that tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. We were invited kind of last minute to go out for lunch with my friends at this time, and I was like, ooh, can't do that. Already got a parade float. I gotta go judge. Parade floats, plural, I guess. So, anyway, I kind of owe Badger a Mexican meal if anybody wants to help me buy that. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. What button do I push to talk? You have to bind it in Discord. I don't know that there's a default. You can just type out what your build is. If you can't figure it out. No worries. Bum 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 bum. Okay then. So my float is a specific town. Beachland, British Columbia. Writes Champagne Jane. This is the local cryptic, the Ogopogo. I don't know what a cryptic is. Is that a puzzle? Ah, apparently it's a cryptid with an apostrophe. Or an asterisk. Yeah. These are the spawning salmon. In the front yard of every house, there are fruit trees. Very cool. Peaches, plums, apples, apricots, and cherries. Did Animal Crossing steal its fruit selection from this town? Kindle says yes. Apparently, okay. But Stellar Spider says, sounds like my backyard as a kid. And Pepper Pasenchi says, I've been to Peachland. These nether things represent the cactus that hides out in the tall grass. Ah. And the dirt is shallow, and there's sand underneath filled with shells. Algorithm 32 agrees that Peachland is lovely. Apparently everybody really likes this place. I need to go to... I think the territory was in there. Yeah, Peachland before Christ. Got it. Once as a kid, I hiked to the top of the mountain, and it was just a sea of green. The scene stuck with me. Very cool. And that's it. Thank you. Well, thank you, Champagne Jane, for sharing a bit of your home with us here on the 10th Oreward server. This is Peachland, British Columbia, rolling down the street of the Iron Islands. And let's see what we've got next. It's Magenta and Dottie, Canadian friends, who will be presenting.
Oh, it'll be me, Magenta. Dottie and I wanted to do something kind of silly. So we took and made our three of our Canadian friends into little statues. We've got Kindless and Bear33 and Shawnard up at the top, who regrettably cannot be with us today. And he's holding up bowls of poutine.
Oh, that's my favorite
And
gravy-covered French fries.
me too. And then we've got some maple leaves, and we have some impressions of beavers.
Are these beavers
Uh,
with little flappy tails?
I was trying to do like the etho thing, but we don't have invisible item frames, so they don't have faces. So it's impressions of beavers.
That's fun though. I like it. I like it.
But yeah, that's it.
Very cute. Okay, so Canadian Friends is the title of the piece. This isn't Magenta and Dottie, comma Canadian Friends. So we've got Bear,
No.
Kindless, and Sean Art up here. Thank you very much to Magenta and Dottie. We also have a tip rolling in. Let's see who it's from. It's from Jonas, who says, here's a dinner tip to rotate things in your favor. Maybe a 5-degree twist will reveal the winning fleet. So here we go. Let's rotate the camera 5 degrees now. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. We're now at 12 degrees angular. Tips are welcome via paypal.me/JoeHills and YouTube Super Chat. Rabbit says, Joe, thanks for streaming. Was a bit down. Came looking for some hermits. Yeah, we're actually not on the Hermitcraft server right now. We are on the 10th Oreward Patreon server, where I am judging a parade float build contest. We've viewed 3 of the 5 floats. Now we're going to go view float number 4. It's from Kindalis. Kindalis, what are we looking at here?
Joe, this, I actually posted a link in your Discord.
Okay.
But this is a representation of a poem written by a Canadian in World War I.
Mm-hmm.
And this poem was adopted for our Remembrance Day ceremonies every year because the poet in question died shortly after writing the poem about, you know, all the people who were dying senselessly in the war.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And so this is like a little memorial garden type thing.
Yeah.
That has the poem in it. Interesting. Now, are these bushes shaped based off of any particular?
No, I thought it would be distasteful to like mimic an actual monument.
No, that's fair. I wasn't sure though if you had chosen this kind of shape as a reference to anything in particular, though.
No, I just felt it would keep your eyes flowing in the right direction.
Well, I don't want to nitpick. Especially because you are trying to do something memorial. But yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I dislike about this is how you can't really see the first sign on the next one when you're at the bottom of the last one. And so, like, in terms of reading order, like, I was trying to figure out if there was...
It makes you take your time.
Gotcha. Okay. I figured sometimes when something isn't clicking with me, I like to ask, like, was there a reason for this choice?
No, it makes you slow down and do it one step at a time rather than just rushing you through as if I'd put it all on one wall.
Interesting. Very cool. Anything else you'd like to share about this?
No, I think I covered it. Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Thank you very much, Kindalis. And finally, we've got Stellar Spider, based on the Canadian movie Men with Brooms. Stellar, what are we looking at here? I have it written out. I wanted to make a float based on my favorite Canadian movie, Men with Brooms. It's a romantic comedy from 2002, focused on the sport of curling, with the story of a team coming back from a 10-year hiatus to win their small city tournament. All the people are represented as beavers here. The home team is in blue and the visiting team is in gold, just like in the film. I'm not going to spoil the plot, but I added a few little scenes that don't happen on the curling rink at the back of the float. In one, you see the shed where the coach grows his magic mushrooms. In the other, the Undertaker teammate nearly falls into the crematory oven. And on top, the lesbian cop and waitress finally get together by the end of the film. If you have any questions about curling specifically, you should ask Kindalis. I mean, I don't really have any questions about curling, because I've been several times, and, you know, they're pretty good at teaching us how to not die and play properly. So yeah, I do enjoy curling. It's only something I get to do like once a year or so, usually around New Year's when all my friends come to town. So yeah, I actually did recognize this as a curling rink. This is very cool. We've got the players represented as beavers. I will say, it's interesting to me. This is one of the first parade float contests we've had in a while without armor stands. And it's fun seeing people choosing to represent things in different and simpler ways. Once we get the 1.21.7 update, we're going to probably update all the data packs. But since I was expecting that update like at any moment for the last 3 days, I haven't bothered installing the 121.6 data packs yet. So yeah, this is a lot of fun seeing these goofy little beavers and stuff here. And then let's go take a look at the things in the shed. Oh wow, that is a cow that I have not seen before. Oh, it's Gordon. I didn't recognize you, Gordon, because you're so shaggy. And these two are sharing a candle. That represents, I'm sure, their fragile love. But, you know, throw that on a pan of oil, then, you know, onto some dry paper. Yeah, get a real blaze going. And then we got a little cabin here. This is very cool. We have some really solid entries here. And I think I'm ready to judge. We're not going to do the music and the deliberation this time. But these are all great entries. Thank you to everyone for coming out. I'm going to /give at a 16 light blocks just for arriving. Kindle says it is the single most accurate sports movie ever made and the single worst trailer ever made for a film. Yeah, that's how they get you. That's how they get you. Okay. So, in third place, I want to thank Champagne Jane for sharing a slice of Peachtree, British Columbia. This is a fun little float that I could imagine going down the street. I could imagine townsfolk waving and throwing stuff from the sides. Got a fun little sea serpent in the front. Got the raised mountains in the back. This feels like a float that I could imagine members of a community sharing a fun day on and bringing delight to people around them. So, we are going to /give Champagne Jane here. You can have 4 iron blocks. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody can have 4 iron blocks. Since we are at the Iron Islands. That'll save you a trip down to the farm. No, for Champagne Jane, we are going to /give another 64 lights. Hold on. I gotta type the command correctly. And another star. And what is nether quartz ore? That doesn't sound very good. Netherite block. Okay. I can never remember what I gave out last time, so I know that these are not consistent rewards between parades. But thank you, Champagne Jane, for showing up and making something so cool. That's a lot of fun. In second place, I particularly like the Men with Brooms float. This is another one where just by its nature, it feels like something you could have a group of community members hanging out and waving at people as it goes down the street. Having the grandstand built into the top here, with the little shed details underneath, is a particularly fun element. I like the banner work, and like I said, the interpretation of the beavers. We've had 2 different parade floats with beavers today, presumably because they're associated with Canada, historically and ecologically. And just the little beavers and the team outfits, it's just a fun touch. So we are going to give Stellar Spider 128 lights, 2 nether stars, and 2 netherite blocks. And I gotta say, one of the things that made this parade particularly easy to judge was, did I give Champagne Jane? Can you just give those to Stellar Spider? Sorry. Thank you. Our initial entry here from Alpacatastic just kind of ticked every box. You've got inflatable thing going down the street above a platform with a bunch of Gem Hadar soldiers. We've got puns on the Dominion of Canada. We've got Gem Hadar. We've got Changeling Etho, who, possibly infected by a Federation bioweapon, can't change form. This is just absolutely killing it, Alpacatastic. I'm going to try and actually give you your reward instead of Champagne Jane again, because it's not Champagne Jane's job to hand those out. So here, 256 Minecraft lights, 4 nether stars, Alpacatastic, yeah, and netherite blocks, Alpacatastic. There you go. This is a fantastic build. And, I didn't want to say, boy, I feel bad for whoever has to follow this one. But, as soon as I saw this, I was just, not as soon as I saw it, because when I saw it, I didn't understand it. But as soon as you explained what this was, I was just like, man, I don't know how anybody's gonna beat that. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Beef, Gem, and Etho as the Dominion of Canada. Wow, that is genuinely, super impressive. It's not every parade we have a breakaway winner like this. This was just an absolute slam dunk, Alpacatastic. So, congratulations on your win. Of course, thank you to all of our contestants. Oh, is my view distance off? Oh, it's because I've got the speed beacon. So that changed my FOV. Thank you to all of our contestants for contributing a piece of Canadian culture or the Canadian experience with us. These monuments, these floats will remain here through the rest of the season. Just a fun way for different members of our community to contribute to each other's bases. And our next parade is going to be the Labor Day Parade in a month or 2. I'm not sure exactly when that's going to get scheduled, so keep an eye out on that. But yeah, thank you again to everyone who participated. I don't think we've got anything else. I'm going to figure out who we can raid. Let me make sure this is muted so I don't accidentally raid somebody with music and then blank out the VOD. It looks like NJ Coffee Junkie is playing Sagrada. So why don't we go ahead and /raid NJ. When you get over there, our raid messages. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills raid here. Thank you guys so much. This has been a fantastic time. Until next time, y'all. This is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stop streaming.